Happy Sunday to all my families and friends around the world. This is a beautiful Sunday afternoon, and I know some of us have gone for worship today. Maybe some of us are still quarantined or in lockdown because of the effect of the coronavirus that is still affecting so many people around the world. I just want to say thank you to God for all His blessing and what He has done for all of us, despite of whatever location or wherever you are today, or whatever time zone. God is always good to all of us. I just want to share a beautiful Bible verse that the Lord revealed to me this morning as I was praying in my room. And this Bible verse, this beautiful Bible verse, which Jesus told His disciples 2,000 years ago about how to pray. He said in Matthew chapter 6, verse 6, He said, "When you pray, go to your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen." This is one of the Bible verses that so many people have their own interpretation, but this is the first time that I get this interpretation from the Lord, and I want to share to all of us, especially when all of us are experiencing the situation that is happening today, which forced us to come home and quarantine. And I think this prayer will help us so that when we are quarantined at home, we can reflect upon the teaching of Jesus, the message He taught about how to pray to His disciples 2,000 years ago. So He said, when you pray, go to your room, close the door, and pray to your Father who is unseen. So I'll just explain what He mean when He said close the door and go to your room. We have been experience the effect of our mind that is a big impediment to our access to God through all generation. So when He said close the door, He means that you have to close the door of your superficial mind. Because if you look around, the basis or the root of all the fear that we experience around the world, the root of all complaining, the root of all worry, the root of all blaming game is the mind. So our mind has been playing around with us all this time. So when you fear, it's because of the mind. And our mind is like a sword that is sharper. And if you don't know how to use your own mind, it will become a big impediment or obstacle, something that prevents you from accessing God. So that's why when he said, close the door, he means that you have to close the door of your mind. And stop being worried. Stop being fearful. Stop being stressful. Stop blaming others. This game of playing the game of blaming others is the product of the mind. So when you pray, go to your room, close this door of fear, worry, stress, and blaming others for whatever happens, and come to that room which David called it the court of God, or the presence of God. So you come to that room and pray and have communion with the Father who is unseen. So that's the room. That room is your room, because the dwelling of our God is your dwelling. The presence of our God is your presence. So close that door of fear, close that door of worry, and come to that place where you can experience only peace, only joy, only wholeness, only completeness, only absolute, only aliveness, only the presence of God, only God dwells. So go and dwell beyond all the fears you have. So you have to go to that room and communion with the Father who is unseen. And then you will experience that life in the presence of God. That's why when David said in Psalms 23, he leaded me beside that still water. That still water is beyond fear, is where you reach when you get rid of the wavering mind. You come to where that still water is. He said, cast me not away from that presence, that dwelling, that room, that court where you should go to when you commune with God. He said in Psalms chapter 84, he said that how lovely is this dwelling place of God. And he said in Psalms 91, a secret place of the Most High God. And he said in Psalms 110, I will sit at the right hand of God until he make my enemy a footstool for my feet. This is where he said, this is the secret place, this is the room, this is the dwelling you should come to and commune with the Father who is in heaven. I believe if you can reach that place which is beyond the superficial mind, and you reach there, what the life will be, what the world will be, what I experience, what a communion you will have with God. But to reach that place, you have to practice what David explained in Psalms chapter 46. He said, be still and know that I am God. You have to practice, be still, to calm that superficial mind. The purpose of being still is to calm the effect of the superficial mind, which produce fear, which produce worry, which produce stress, which produce blaming game. We have to calm that and come to the depth of who we are and depth of who God is, and you will experience that dwelling of our God. When you reach there, and life will be unexplainable, something that you will never explain, that dwelling of our God. So during this quarantine, moments during these quarantine weeks. Make it your aim to come to that place. Go to that room, because that's your room. That's your dwelling, because the dwelling of our God is our dwelling. That's the place David longed for in Psalms 51. He said, cast me not away from this place, from this presence, because this is where he finds the wholeness of life, the complete health, the complete glory, the beauty, the completeness of life, and the life that Jesus promised in John chapter 10 verse 10. I have come to give you life, and life